This is the last one.
So I stopped recording for a little bit since we've kind of seen him do this already with the snake book. So just make sure you get that foam folder and go into the spine and really press it down, because it'll give you that little nice indentation that you like when you see a book where it has this little part you can grab.
And then you're going to probably put this in a press, right? Or the...
He's going to go
Yeah.
after it's done.
Yeah, usually you're supposed to put it in the press just to have everything glued down.
Right.
You know, really good. But I'm just going to go ahead and glue on the block and just put it all together at the end on the press.
And his other book that we put in the press is already glued and dried and ready, so that's done. So.
And if some of it doesn't, we just go back and try to see if we can catch it. And so that's how it's just going to be. I think it's some glue.
Very nice.
And just to give you an idea of how it can look like, just go ahead and push this up against towards that spine. That'll be good.
Nice.
So that's how it's going to look once you glue everything down. And with these corners, if you don't like them to be too pointy, just push them in. You can always just kind of just
Fold them in.
yeah, fold them in, punch them in. Or once it's already done, just kind of press them in. So we're going to glue it the same way as we did the snake. Just one end and then do the other. You can also just kind of, so you can get it aligned. Hopefully this is squared out too. So I'm just going to open these two edges up. They're a little bit tough.
And you never sealed this.
Mm-mm. No, because that's going to be glued on too. And for this, you definitely need some smaller pieces to put in the pages for when you use your foam folder to press out the glue. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these out.
And now mine's going to be a little different when I show you on Monday on this part. So he's using the actual first page. I'm going to add a page.
Add a page.
So to mine, it's a little different.
For just strength. Right?
Yeah.
For
Because I did that. Because I did that card stock in the center there. So it's going to be a tiny bit different, but it's just a small change. And you can then choose a little bit of a decorative insert.
Okay, and I'm just gluing down the tape to the paper first. Just do that first, and then just spread your glue all the way through the rest of the page. Oops. It's a little dry. If your glue, I guess if you use PVA glue, if it gets a little dry, just add a little bit of water to it and it should be fine.
I think you have to be really careful.
Yeah. It's like really tacky right now. Cool. How's that?
Also, your brush kind of probably gets dry too.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna. You want it to be a little past the line of where the end of the board is at, towards the spine. Just a little bit past it. And then when we glue the other one, we'll do the same thing. That way, it can be spread out and it will open up all the way through too.
Beautiful.
So we'll just do that.
Do you want to take the foam folder and press it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to get towards the edge. Really, you're not supposed to do all the way up, but it should be fine. Just press the glue out. And if something doesn't glue properly here, you can always go back in and just add more glue to it. Usually the corners don't glue down all the way at the first time. And when you start opening your book, some of the gluing might come undone, so you can squeeze and glue. And I'll show you some of that once it's done.
So after tomorrow when it's dry.
Mm-hmm. If it came undone. Hopefully it wouldn't, or it doesn't.
So you're gonna put this whole thing in the press,
Mhm.
all the way.
Yeah.
It also flattens down the pages in case of any buckling.
Okay, and then we're gonna do the other page too.
Probably keeps it from warping when it dries the glue and stuff. You know, it
No,
could
it just
get-
feels a little bit squishy, but whatever.
And also it helps when it dries without making any wrinkles by pressing it at that
Mhm.
point. Because anytime you add a wet liquid to something that's drying,
Yeah.
it can bow and wave, and this helps because like with yours, it kind of did that. I think it was too much glue. That's what happened with yours.
And normally I put in the cheesecloth also on the spine, just to give it more structure for when I glue it back down onto the hardcover itself. But this should be fine since it's not really that big of a book. It's not holding that many pages either.
And how far do you overlap the cheesecloth when they're
The same amount.
Just a small.
Oh no, like probably like an inch and a half.
Okay.
'Cause what is this, like a
Yeah,
this inch and a quarter?
Just another layer
Mhm.
of structure.
Yeah.
So I guess we need to go get some cheesecloth.
We have some.
You guys should have some. It should be the same thing as that.
Yeah,
It's just
the
a
tarlatan or cheesecloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have both. It's in there. And,
I'm just gonna push this in. So I'm just gonna close it, and if I need to, I'll press some of this in.
The contrast of the colors look really nice.
It's nice. Isn't
I
it?
wasn't so sure before you did it, but
Right.
looking at it now, it looks still really good.
it's kind of like when you get a drawing and then you frame it, and then the drawing framed like so much better frame than sitting in your sketch pad sometimes.
And I didn't get enough glue on some of this area, so I'm just gonna go back in with. And this is what I was talking about. But you'll notice this once you put it in the press, you let it dry out, and if it doesn't catch it, you can always go back and just add more to it. Just press it out.
And then you put it back in the press.
Yeah.
So it seems like, is it perfectly flat? I was a little bit worried in the press.
Will it get perfectly flat? The more centered you go, the flatter
Yeah.
it gets.
I was just worried about it being not completely even, which would be like, okay.
Oh, like if it like slanted out.
Yeah, like,
You just have to be careful when you put it
yeah.
in.
I didn't
Yeah, you don't
hurt
want
it.
to crush it.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's put it in the book press.
Yeah.
So
It's like
so
it
let
seems
me
like it's
add
slightly
some-
higher on the
yeah, wax paper.
side, you know?
Just to the outer edges, and then we'll wrap it around.
Ooh, that's the biggie.
Oh, we're using that one.
Yeah. For the demo, you can use the other ones too.
Oh yeah, we can use this.
Cool.
My
Yeah, I've been wondering when we're going to use that fancy thing in there.
There you go.
Yeah, you want to use this one because it goes straight down.
Yeah.
Let's make sure.
That's it. That's usually how we get the hearts.
And just firm enough.
I love
And